Be'ezrat Hashem, Naaseh v'Natzliach. I'd like to welcome everyone to Chilling with Torah Sunday night to David Chai Synagogue. I want to give our good friend Adam for putting this together, getting all the food for us, and for the donor, our anonymous donor from New York. And may this lesson be to the Hatzlacha of the new baby girl of Sheina Badina. May this baby girl grow up to be a tzaddiket, the one that keeps Torah, mitzvot, maasim tovim, and maybe her parents merit to see her in her chuppah. Also to the herayon kal veleda kala of Simcha Bat Shula, and to Hatzlacha of my parents and my sisters. Amen. Go ahead, keep throwing it in before we get started. Okay. So, B'Sha'ah Tovah, B'Simana Tafta, we see that we're starting now the fourth book of the Chumash, Bamidbar. It's loosely translated, in the desert.
Numbers.
No, Numbers is...
In English.
Is it Numbers?
Yeah, Numbers.
That's right, the other one was Leviticus. As we come to this Sefer Bamidbar, Parashat Bamidbar, talks basically about the counting of the Jewish people again, the job of the Leviim, the way that they park themselves when they're traveling, or the way that they carry themselves, and also who has the responsibility of carrying what during the time that they're traveling.
From the Levium.
This is for the tribe of the Leviim. And we see here that you can see several things. One big question. Let's start from the beginning. Why the desert? Why take a whole nation out of a metropolis like Egypt, walk them through an ocean, and not put them in a desert?
We're going to put them. That's the only choice.
Take him to a forest. Take him to a city. Take him somewhere else. Take him to a city. Take him to a tribe. Not to a tribe. Take him to a farm. Take him somewhere where there's trees, where there's water. Why to the desert? Lama onesh. They just got free. The onesh, the slavery that they were in right now, that was their punishment. Out of all the places in the world, couldn't God have taken them to somewhere a little bit more inviting?
No, maybe because he wanted to show them a ton of miracles to show that I can do a lot of miracles.
Yes and no. He did show them a lot of miracles, but as a matter of fact, if you think about it, you can see that the Jewish people just saw so many miracles in Egypt, and they saw so many miracles inside the splitting of the sea, and then all of a sudden they're 40 years walking in the desert. It's very anticlimactic. It's very like you get to see these wonders, all these things going on, and then the 40 years of just being in the desert.
4 years is a punishment. They could go directly to Israel. If they did not have the sin of the spy.
So they just happen to be there.
It's better to go through the desert than through cities and stuff, because then you get the influence of the other people who live there.
Chazak, there it is. Why didn't Hashem want to take them through a city or a town, or even if it was completely secluded, but around you would be other societies, other nations or tribes? Because when you're in the Midbar, what happens in the Midbar? You'll know that many, many people, to become spiritual, they take spiritual trips to where? To mountains. They go to places where there's no people. They go to the forest. They go to the desert even. Why do they go to the desert? People have a tremendous spiritual elevation when they go to the desert. Something happens to the person when he's in the desert. Now you have over here a whole nation of people. All these people are in the middle of nothingness. And when you're in the middle of nothing, you don't have any of societal pressures around you. You don't have anybody that's going to be around you to make you feel like you're losing something, or that you're lacking something, or you don't have anything. You're able to really focus on what you have and appreciate it. So if you're in the middle of the desert and you have a traveling water with you, the Be'er Miriam with you, you really appreciate the water that's with you. When you wake up every morning and there's food from the heavens, man min hashamayim, you appreciate the food that you have and you don't feel like you're lacking anything. But when you're around people, the person that's next to you, they call it like keeping up with the Joneses. That person next to you makes you feel like either you're lacking something or you have something. Or the society that you live in, certain societies, certain cities, certain neighborhoods, certain countries. Each one over there has their highs and lows of which one, how you feel when you have something, when you don't. In the desert, you don't have that. We learned from this that if a person treats his life as if it's a desert, he never feels like he's missing anything. When you humble yourself, when you bring yourself to the point that like as if you're living in a desert, you never feel like you're missing something. But if you live in a place where you always feel like you're missing something, you're already in a different place. You're not in a spiritual place. They say that, if you think about it, they tell us that the rabbis tell us that the Torah is won by three things: by Bamidbar, Esh, V'Mayim. These are three things that you can acquire the Torah. So they say, why Midbar, why Esh, why Mayim? He says because these are three things that are free. The desert is free. Anywhere you go, you can just go into the desert. Water is free. Anywhere you go, you can get water for free. Fire is free. And if you think about it, the things that are the most necessary in life are free.
Air.
Take a look at this. Anything that is not necessary, the less we need it, the more expensive it is.
Expensive cars.
The less we need it in our life, the more expensive it is.
Yeah.
The more we need it, the more free it is. Look at the grace of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Imagine if people would start charging us for water. I mean, of course they sell water in the supermarket, but you can get it for free from the sink. You can get water anywhere for free.
No, you have to pay the water bill.
Yes and no. I mean, yes, in the home you do. But the water practically is free. You can go to the ocean and get free water. You can go to a lake and get water.
If you buy 1 gallon water and 1 gallon gas,
About the same.
it's different. The price.
Is it about the same or no?
No, it's $1 gallon is 76 cents, and 1 gallon is like almost $3.
What did they say in the time of Mashiach? What's going to be? The wine is going to be?
Right?
It's going to be cheaper than wine, cheaper than water. Wine. So,
I'll be paying more. So.
if you pay attention to the things that are necessary, they're free. So we say if something is so dear, when something is so special, it's more expensive, right? When something is like like a car or jewelry, when something is so yakar, it's very expensive.
You can live without it.
So let me ask you a question: why isn't the Torah expensive?
By what?
Why isn't the Torah expensive? It's the dearest thing in the world. How come it doesn't have a price tag on it of $1 trillion?
Because Hashem wants us to learn Torah. Because if it costs too much, no, we won't buy it. It costs too much money.
Mama, what?
Hashem does want us to learn Torah, and the Torah falls in the line of water, air. Can we live without water? We can live without food for a few days. Without water, we cannot live. Can we live without air?
No.
Meanwhile, the supply is everywhere for free. Shtabach Shem Olad. Hashem told us that He made those things that we can't live without for free, only to give you the value of the Torah. He says, just like you can't live without water, just how you can't live without air, you can't live with the Torah. That's why it's free. If you can come and grab it. This is the most dearest thing to a human life, is the Torah. And it's free. Imagine. And it's more valuable than any car, any jewelry, any real estate, anything that's out there. There's one last thing, a small little chidush before we continue. and go around the room. The Jewish people, three times we have the names of the tribes, and three times it's mentioned in a different order. Each time the sequence is different. One time Reuven is mentioned first, one time Yehuda, one time Shimon is mentioned second, one time it's Issachar, then we have one time Menashe is mentioned before Ephraim, and one time Ephraim before Menashe. Three different sequences of how the Jewish people got counted, and every time they're mentioned differently. Why aren't they mentioned the same? Why aren't they mentioned the way that they were born? Why aren't they mentioned according to the mothers? Why aren't they mentioned in the same, like, why don't you just choose one sequence and just go with it? So if you pay attention, there's three explanations that are given to us here in Torah Menachem, and there's a beautiful explanation that Rav Yoram Aberge Zecher Tzadik Livracha mentioned in his book Imrei Noam. He says that one time, the first sequence, it's a list of the tribes, but not really the tribes, the tribal leaders. The first time that we hear
the families.
Exactly. That's the first time that we see the people's name. The second time, it's according to the way that they were born. First one is the tribal leaders. Second one, the order that they were born. Third one, which is the one that we have in this parasha, in this Sefer Bamidbar, is the list of the tribes according to the way they go to war, according to the strength of each tribe. So we have three different ones. So now when they're telling them exactly, okay, you're going to be living over here, you're going to be living over there, this is your position, you're close to this guy, you're close to that guy. You know, this is just like when the Jewish people when the Jews came back to Israel, and in the 50s or the 60s, and they dispersed them throughout Israel, and they told them, you live over here, you live over there, and what happens? They start to complain. How come I live over here? I want to be here, I want to be there. Moshe Rabbeinu had the same ta'ana. He tells the Kadosh Baruch Hu, what if they come to me and they're not happy with their lot? He goes to him, you're not choosing. You're just telling them where to go. The choice has been made already. He says, the choice has been made already? He says, yes. They already know exactly which way they have to be around the Mishkan from Yaakov Avinu. He says, why is that? He says, because when Yaakov Avinu was around his deathbed, he told him, gather to me. And when he told him, gather to me, he gave him the instruction on how to carry when he was dead. Who's going to carry it on the left? Who's going to carry it on the right? Who's going to be in front? Who comes in back? And that's exactly the formation that they had when they were parked. The pasuk.
So Yaakov made it easy on Moshe.
He did. He goes, he told him, your father chose. Your father, because Moshe had, said, what if they come to me, they're not happy with their placement? One last thing, it says, the way, Echem Chanu, Ken Nasau. The same way that they were stationed, that's the exact formation that they traveled. In other words, the way that they stayed, they traveled in the same formation and they parked again. They didn't get into some other different type of formation and then come back to it again. So this is a beautiful chidush I one time heard from Rabbi Mansour about the traveling salesman. He says, you know, when a person is choneh, when he's parked, what is it? He's in his house. That's where he is all the time. So when he's in his house, he has his community, he has his shul, and he knows exactly where, you know, how to pray in the morning, how to, which supermarkets sell kosher food, which restaurants to eat in.
Sense of comfort.
You know, he knows already but when he's parked, he knows how to be. So he says the same way that you are when you're choneh, ken nasau. Act the same way when you're traveling. Why? Because when people are traveling, when they go on vacation, listen, I'm on vacation. I don't eat non-kosher, but I eat salads. I eat salads in non-kosher restaurants. You know, I go to the fancy restaurants, I drink my drinks, and I eat just salads, you know, maybe fish. maybe fish, or maybe cheese. I made them bring out for me the wrapper so I can see if it had OU on it or not. Or sometimes when they say when on a business trip, I'm in the middle of a China, Rabbi. What do you want to do? I'm in the middle of China. I go out to business meetings. I eat sushi. You know, the knife is cold. Nothing is happening. You know, the guy next to him is eating octopus still alive, moving in his plate, and this guy's eating tuna or sashimi. He says, no. The way Shechanuk Henasau is the same way that you act when you are parked next to the house. It's the same way you act when you're traveling, whether you're on a business trip or when you're vacationing. Act the same way. The same way that the tribes park is the way they travel is the same way that we should learn. And I thought that was very interesting chidush to learn from the placement of the tribes in this week's parasha. Okay, we'll turn it over to Yeshua. No? Okay, no problem. Shlomo, do you have what's bothering Rashi?
Rashi said that in this census, when he's counting the Jewish people, first of all, before Rashi said that the way out the counting this time, Moshe and Aaron, they had to go to each family and count them. It was a very personal thing. It wasn't like it was very personal. They went to each family and count them, and they blessed them. And it's really something. It's like you feel, so each Jew felt so important, because each Jew is very important. So we cannot just say, oh, each Jew is very important just to say it, just to say it. Here they show it. That each one. Now,
this is not where the bat kol came out and gave the amount of people in the tent? Or this is they actually met
no,
each
they
person?
actually, וידבר השם אל משה לאמור, והם הלכו לשם. כל אחד הלך, משה ואהרון הלכו לכל משפחה ומשפחה. And,
could you imagine? They're knocking on the door. Moshe and Aharon at the front door.
You feel very important, and all the time we say every Jew is important. So it's not just a saying. It's like you see, the big rabbi came down to the meet everybody and to bless them and to it's really something incredible. Also,
some of the biggest stories are when the big rabbis go to the simpleton and give him the attention. You see, those stories get repeated more than anything.
And there is a big influence. Also, we're talking about how to make people choser b'tshuva and all these things. When a big rabbi like this come to you, it's not like you come to him; he comes to you. It's not like it's. And so also Rashi said that Asiba, the reason why God did 3 censuses in the Midbar, it's because of Chibatam. He loved the Jewish people. It's like somebody,
a rich man that counts his Jews.
Exactly, like a man, you have money in your pocket, and somebody who really loves money, he knows that he has, let's say, $100 in his pocket. But because he loves his money, he all the time will count it. He knows that God does not know how many people you have. So it's mechibatam. And how do you know that it's chibatam? Lama Rashi omer it's chibatam? Because all these censuses made in 14 months. It wasn't like there was a big span between one census to another.
This was before the Eged or after the Eged?
This was after the Eged. So when they came out of Egypt. It was the first census was in Tet Zayin Benisan, and the second one was after the Chet HaEgel to count how many left from the Jewish people. And now, so you have 3. And if you do it in 14 months, it's for sure because you love them, not because you just. So that's.
I'll give you something that I noticed. Tell me if you can pick up on this. So Moshe Rabbeinu is counting the Jewish people. And not only that, this is the first time in history ever that a nation counts its people, doing a consensus in order to count the people that are ready to go to war.
Yeah.
No nation has ever done that. No nation has ever recruited its own people for war. Every other army in history were paid combatants. They got paid, soldiers got paid to fight. This whole thing of legayes, how do you say legayes? To recruit.
Draft.
Or to draft people within your own country, within your own nation to serve. That's a Jewish concept. And the first time that it was instituted was in the desert, right now. We see it. The only time I believe that countries drafted for themselves without paying for soldiers was, I think, maybe like 400 or 500 years ago in some French war, when actually France used the draft. I don't have the exact info on it.
America used to be a draft until.
But France was before.
Yeah, till 1968.
We're talking about hundreds of years before. So if you think about people going to war, did it cross your mind that Shevet Levi, if you ask me, should be the top in my list for going to war? Why? At the time of Shechem, who was it? Shimon and Levi. In the time of the Egel, who got up and killed the 3,000 people? Shevet Levi. If there was anyone who's violent, warrior, strong, who has the history, it's Shevet Levi. All of a sudden, what do we give them? We give them the job of the spiritual people. The spiritual people. Now their job is what? Take care of the Mikdash. You carry all the articles. You sing in the Bet HaMikdash. You sing in the... Yeah. Meanwhile, they don't go to war.
They used to have beautiful voices, the Levi.
It's very, very interesting if you think about it.
Beautiful voices they used to have.
It's very if you think they had the quality of a warrior was Shevet Levi, yet they were taking out from that and they turned to spiritual people. I don't have an answer for that. I just thinking about it, like it's very, very interesting.
שבט לוי, ומי עוד?
שמעון.
שמעון באותו זמן, שמעון נשארו.
נכון?
אבל שמעון הוא כבר לא נהיה שבט. זאת אומרת, נהיה שבט, אבל הוא spread around everywhere.
יוסף הפריד בין שני האחים.
Ephraim and Menashe. So the question
הוא
on
ידע
the
למה, אם לא הם הפכו את כל מצרים.
on the group was, which tribe was the smallest tribe of all
דם.
in numbers?
לוי. No?
No, wait, I
Who
saw
was
it.
the most?
There was 20, Levim, like 20, there were like 22,000.
No. There's a chart over there. If you flip a few pages, you're gonna see it. Who was the tribe that had the most people?
Flip a few pages.
No.
And the thing I'm
היה לי ראובן, לא?
Yehuda. Yehuda had the most amount of people. Who was the least? Who was the least? There's a chart over there that gives you the numbers. There it is. There it is. There. You just passed it.
This one.
No. I'm gonna give you a chance to answer. Which one had? Keep going. One more. Okay. Who had the least amount? Let the kids get involved.
32,000, Menashe.
Menashe. Why?
32,000.
Why would Menashe be the least one out of all of them? This is if you read Ma'am Loez, you'll know the answer. In the time of Yetziat Mitzrayim, before Yetziat Mitzrayim, I'm giving you hints. What happened with Menashe? What happened with the tribe of Menashe before Yetziat
All the
Mitzrayim?
way up here.
Wasn't it like
Ah, you're talking about
You tried
Ephraim?
to escape? Oh, there was Ephraim, no?
No. So who's the smallest one?
Menashe?
Ephraim tried to escape and they killed him. He died. ואז העצמות היבשות, they wake up.
Of how many people?
60,000.
30,000. I think. One
I
second.
think it's Ephraim.
No, Binyamin is 35,000.
Let me see. Let me show you.
הפלישתים.
עזבו אותם כי זה לא היה זמן.
כן.
They calculate the time wrong.
הם דחקו את הזמן הגאולה.
בני אפרים או בני מנשה? It was supposed to be Menashe. Which one are they? Which one escaped? Ephraim, Bnei Ephraim or Bnei Menashe?
Menashe, that's why he's probably the least.
Menashe.
Okay, we have to look into it. Because the reason why they were much less than everybody else is because they were missing a generation.
What do you mean?
Because before Yetziat Mitzrayim,
they
they tried to escape. And they lost a whole generation. And that's why their number is way less.
Is that a punishment?
The only thing is, I'm pretty sure I heard the midrash was
Because they did not do
where it was Menashe.
God as a
But if
plan
it's
went to
Ephraim,
get the Jewish people out, and they want to get out before. They did not wait.
What's bad?
So it's bad, right?
Oh, they told them to wait?
Of course.
Oh.
They
then you just
still
escape.
left.
Bye-bye.
They still try to escape.
Okay, who has a chidush?
The
Why
Plishtim-
why
Go
weren't-
ahead.
A question.
Move away the soda
Why
bottle.
weren't they all even?
Huh?
I mean, I'm sure something happened with them, but why all the tribes were even, like, with numbers, like, people?
They weren't even.
Why are they not even?
People have kids. Some have more, some have less.
Parasha.
לא יודע איפה הוא מזכיר את זה. אני יודע זה היה לפני יציאת מצרים, הוא מספר שם, אז אולי בפרשת בו.
There was something that I read in there about that, like,
We could probably Google it faster.
here, can I get the book? Read it off.
I'll be Google.
You want this? Here you go.
Oh, never mind.
There's like an Alba Sheker thing with,
Is
like,
that fish?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, why does it show me to know how many people there is? You already counted them. So, the reason is because, let's say I have a bunch of money, I count them because I like it. I love them. It's basically the same thing. Hashem loves us, so he keeps on counting us. He keeps on taking track of us. He doesn't let us go. Like people, rich men, they don't care about nothing. They only care about money. So they love it. Just say leave Hashem.
Don't generalize, though.
Do you like it then?
Go ahead, yourself. תפסיק
How do you pause it?
Shlomo, how much was it?
Sean, how do you pause it?
Joey.
Not gonna present.
Pause it, we don't pause it. We just do it till it's done.
Okay, I'll say something. About why was the redemption price 5 shekel? It says here in the Parasha, ולקחת 5 שקלים לגולגולת בשקל הקודש תיקח 20 גרע שקל. Why is the redemption price 5 shekels? It says this was the sale price of Yosef when they sold Yosef. 20 silver pieces were 4 silver pieces equal to 1 shekel, and 1 shekel it says, and he was the firstborn of Rachel, so it equals to how
You
much?
can repeat it? Please repeat what
That's
you
a
said.
very good chidush.
No, repeat it. I want to understand.
But באנגלית or בעברית?
בעברית, לא משנה. I did not follow what you said.
Alright, they sold Yosef, נכון?
You saw the set, yes?
And it was 20 silver pieces, slim silver pieces, zahav, were 4 silver pieces equal to 1 shekel.
So they sold them for 20 pieces.
Yeah.
So 5 shekels.
That's 5 shekel.
Right? So 1 shekel out of 4 silver pieces he was the firstborn of Rachel. So it equals to 1 shekel after 4 pieces of silver. He's like the first son of Rachel. That's what it says here.
Very good. Who did the Levim take the job of? Who was supposed to do the job of the Levim?
His brothers?
Right now.
Holy.
There you go.
What?
The Levim took the job of the Bechorim. The firstborn
Yeah.
are very, very special. The reason why we do Pidyon Ben is because this whole exchange of happening of instead of the Bechorim having the honor of working in Bet HaMikdash and when having this position, the Levim took it. But you know, in the time of Bet HaMikdash, the Bechorim can go back to their position.
Really?
But the Zohar says why they have to redeem with money? Because שלא ישלוט בו עין הרע. אם אתה עושה counting without redeeming it with money, then it's, יש חס וחלילה, הסטרה אחרא יכולה לשלוט בקאונטינג
כל
הזה.
דבר שקשור למספר ולספירה, העין הרע שולטת בו. That's why it's not good to count money. Even if you get to the end, try to not get to the last number. So the Ain Hara doesn't hold on it. We have another Chidush in the house? Okay. Baruch Hashem, thank you so much for coming for another session of Chilling with Torah Sunday nights. Be'ezat Hashem, we'll see you guys not next week, in 2 weeks, because next week is Shavuot.
Shavuos.
Okay. Shabbat Shalom v'Chag Sameach.